Most people don't realize that comfort is the silent killer of their potential. It doesn't happen overnight, it creeps in slowly, quietly, disguising itself as peace, as safety, as taking a break. But the truth is, every time you choose comfort over challenge, you're choosing stagnation over growth. You're teaching your mind to settle, and once the mind learns to settle, it becomes your cage. Look around, most people live the same year 70 times and call it a life. They wake up at the same time, do the same meaningless job, talk to the same people, complain about the same problems, and still expect something to change. But nothing changes because they don't change. They've built a routine that protects them from failure, and that's exactly why they'll never win. Comfort numbs your potential because it convinces you that you're fine when you're not. It tells you you're doing okay, you deserve to relax. But deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know there's a version of you that's sharper, stronger, and more disciplined, yet you silence that voice because it demands effort, it demands sacrifice, and comfort doesn't like sacrifice, it likes satisfaction. The irony is, the more you chase comfort, the more miserable you become. You feel lost, unfulfilled, anxious, even though your life looks easy. That's because the human spirit was never designed for endless comfort. You were built to struggle, to overcome, to expand. Without resistance, you decay. Without challenge, your purpose dies. Comfort doesn't just make you lazy, it makes you forget who you are. When you stay in your comfort zone too long, you start losing your hunger. You stop setting goals because you're afraid of failing. You stop pushing limits because it's too much work. And before you know it, mediocrity becomes your identity. You convince yourself that your dreams were unrealistic, that success is for others. But it's not the world that took it from you, you gave it up the moment you chose comfort. The truth is harsh but freeing. Every time you step into discomfort, you grow. Every time you resist the easy path, you get stronger. Comfort numbs your potential, but pain awakens it. The only way to feel alive again is to start doing the things that scare you, because comfort might feel good today, but it's killing the man you could become tomorrow. Everything you want in life lives beyond the edge of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy, it happens when you're stretched, challenged, and forced to adapt. The truth is, human beings are wired to evolve through struggle. Every form of progress, from physical strength to mental toughness to financial freedom, is born from discomfort. Yet most people run from it. They crave an easier life, but the easier life is what keeps them weak. Think about the gym. When you lift a weight, you're literally tearing muscle fibers apart. That pain, that resistance, is what forces your body to grow stronger. Without it, your muscles would stay small and useless. Life works the same way. When you avoid hard situations, the tough conversation, the risk, the discipline, you rob yourself of the resistance that builds strength. Discomfort is nature's way of shaping you into the person you need to become. But most people never experience that transformation because they can't handle short-term pain. They'd rather have short-term comfort and long-term regret than short-term pain and long-term success. They don't realize that comfort and growth cannot coexist. Every moment you choose comfort, you're rejecting the process that would make you better, and over time, that choice defines your entire life. Discomfort is where your true character is revealed. It's easy to be confident when life is smooth. It's easy to stay motivated when you're winning, but who are you when things fall apart? Who are you when no one's watching, when nothing's working, when every part of you wants to quit? That's the version of you that determines your destiny. Because real growth doesn't come from the wins, it comes from the struggle you refuse to run from. Every successful person you admire, the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the leaders, they all built themselves through pain. They embraced discomfort, they got rejected, failed publicly, lost money, lost friends, yet they kept going. They didn't chase pleasure, they chased purpose, and through that, they found fulfillment. Because purpose doesn't come from comfort, it comes from knowing you're doing something that costs you something. Discomfort is a test. It asks, how bad do you really want it? Most people say they want success until it demands sacrifice. Until it means giving up weekends, distractions, comfort, and validation. That's when they fold. But those who don't, those who stay in the fire long enough, they come out different, stronger, sharper, hungrier. The struggle that breaks most people becomes the foundation of their strength. If you truly want to grow, stop looking for balance. Balance is another word for comfort. Look for challenge. Seek out situations that make you uncomfortable, the ones that make your heart race, your mind doubt, your ego tremble. That's where transformation happens. You don't build confidence by repeating what's easy. You build it by doing what scares you until it doesn't anymore. Growth demands friction. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, to fail, to look stupid, to be misunderstood. Because the truth is, discomfort is the tuition fee for greatness. You can't skip it, you can't cheat it. You either pay with effort and pain now, or you pay later with regret and mediocrity. So stop running from discomfort, run toward it. Lean into the moments that challenge you, the early mornings, the hard work, the silence, the uncertainty. Because that's where the magic is, that's where you evolve. Growth only exists in discomfort, and the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll become unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It's the difference between potential and power, between dreaming and doing. Everyone wants success, confidence, freedom, but very few are willing to earn it through consistency and control. Most people wait for motivation to strike, thinking they'll act when they feel ready. The truth is, that moment never comes. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation dies when you're tired, discipline shows up anyway. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not loud, it's not about hype or hustle quotes. It's about quiet, repetitive, often boring actions that build something unstoppable over time. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It's working on your goals when no one's watching. It's saying no to comfort, distraction, and instant gratification, not because you don't want them, but because you want something greater. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-respect. It's you saying, I'm worth keeping my promises to myself. People misunderstand discipline. They think it's about being rigid or controlling every second of your day. It's not. It's about being intentional. It's about having a standard and refusing to drop below it. When you build discipline, you stop negotiating with your emotions. You stop letting moods dictate your actions. You don't ask, do I feel like working out? You just do it. You don't wait for inspiration to start that business or improve your skills. You create momentum through action. The world is full of people who could have been great but lacked discipline. Talent without discipline dies young. Intelligence without discipline leads nowhere. Desire without discipline is just fantasy. Everyone wants the reward, but very few are willing to pay the price daily. The ones who do, they're the ones who build empires, not excuses. Discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. It may look like you're limiting yourself, but in reality, you're breaking free. When you have discipline, you control your habits instead of letting them control you. You control your time instead of wasting it. You control your life instead of drifting through it. The man who can control himself is unstoppable, because the world can't take away something he built within. It's not easy, and that's exactly why it's powerful. Discipline is forged in resistance. It's born when you push through the moments that test your will. Every time you choose the hard path, you build mental armor. Every time you keep your word, you strengthen your self-belief. That's what separates the disciplined from the average. The average man breaks when it's uncomfortable. The disciplined man thrives in it. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need permission. He just executes. There will be days when you won't want to move, when your mind screams for rest, when everything inside you says, not today. That's where discipline proves itself. Because anyone can show up when it's easy, discipline is showing up when it's hell. It's doing what's right even when no one will notice. It's choosing progress over pleasure, process over perfection. Discipline isn't built overnight, it's a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. You start small, waking up earlier, eating clean, focusing for an hour without distraction. Over time, those small wins stack. They form a foundation of control that nothing can shake. Eventually, discipline becomes your identity. You don't force yourself to be consistent anymore, it's just who you are. And here's the truth most people don't want to face. You either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One builds you, the other destroys you. Discipline hurts now but pays forever. Regret feels easy now but costs you everything later. So if you want to change your life, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start with the smallest act of discipline today. Keep your word to yourself. Do it again tomorrow, then again the next day. Over time, that repetition will forge a version of you that's unshakable, focused, and free. Because in a world full of weak men seeking comfort, the disciplined man is untouchable, and that's the man who wins.